I had to work my way through college. So every summer, and I would work for somebody in landscape. And that's how I met Tommy Church, because my then professor, Vaughn, was a friend of Church. And so I worked on summers on Church's project for a couple of years. After graduation, I went to work for Tommy, and all he did was gardens. I had a full-time job with Tommy Church, and loved it. There was one secretary landscape architect named Harbeck, Marie Harbeck. That's just the two of us. That was the whole thing. Just before the war, Tommy began getting these jobs of putting houses on the land. In other words, housing projects. He wanted to do gardens, so he sort of gave all those to me. So that's when I got into land planning to some extent. But he did a lot of things that were interesting. One was he had his own crew, which was outlawed. They didn't approve of that. But he had that separate group of people, so he didn't have to do very much on the drawings, because that crew, George Martin was the head of that crew. He was a landscape architect. He knew what Tommy meant by a curve or something, and then Tommy would go to the nursery. We'd all be there after the basic form was put in, and trucks began to arrive with plant materials when there wasn't even a planting plan in some of the cases. And we plant the whole garden. One day, 2 days maybe. I always liked him. Tommy had a side that maybe some people don't know about. We'd go to nightclubs and maybe wind up dancing. I wasn't that good a dancer, but he liked to dance. They go swinging around this great dance hall in North Beach. Not too often, but it did happen a couple of times. And so he liked to play. Famous word in the office when I was the only real draftsman, and I would hear Marie Harbeck say on the telephone, "Yes, Mr. Church is in the country this morning or this afternoon," and he would just visit his jobs with a pair of pruning shears. And he would prune, decide something needed pruning, and it was fun working for him.